Is on free base. The boy JD was a friend of mine till I caught him in my car trying to steal an Alpine.
You know they're going to cut that music. That is not my music. I do not have music rights to play that. It's just a bad tune though, right?
LA Times front page, because the boys in the hood are always hard. You come talking the trash, we'll pull your car.
Hey, it's Derek Gant, 24K Life. We are bringing you our Sunday night live at 7. Now, today, I wanted to talk about what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and how all of that is affecting your energy levels. Did a whole bunch of homework on some superfoods and things that we can all do in order to level up. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, right out of the gate, before we even get some introductions, and please everybody say hello, tell me where you are, tell me who you are, tell me where you're from. But while we're doing that, I wanted to show you that there is an accompanying cheat sheet. Now, I didn't call it a cheat sheet. I called it Golden Nuggets. So I produced a cheat sheet for you that you can download if you are on Derek On Demand, or if you're on the 24K Life Code mobile app. Then you can go to the mobile app and go to the section that has live stream. Go to the section that has live stream, and under the actual live stream, there is a PDF. So you can come here, you can go to the live stream section on the very first one, Sunday Night Live at 7. You can click that, right? There's the live stream. And then under that is a workbook that you can download. Boom, boom, boom. See how easy I make life for you all? Hey, how's everybody doing? Tell me who's here. Tell me who's not. And you can go through what we're going to be talking about either now during the actual live, or you can go through and you can check this out on your own. Now, if you do not have the mobile app, you can go to the 24klifecode.passion.io, and you can get the workbook. So you can get this workbook. So we're going to use this. We're going to take you through. Here's an example of what's in the workbook. It's 4 pages of bonus tips, information about your energy zones, the foods, your body, your mindset. We have an expert special guest all the way from St. Paul, Minneapolis, Teri Leigh. She's going to hop on with us a little bit later, and she's going to talk about your energy zones and how you can use some special techniques in order to elevate your energy. You know, when you get to that 3 o'clock crash, you get to that 3:30 crash, you have lunch and you want to crash. She's going to talk about that. She's going to help you figure out how to do it. Now, listen, I don't know everything. Here's what I do know. The things I don't know, I bring experts. And you know what? My heart is aflutter. Regina's here. Regina. Hi, Regina. Where you been, Regina? Regina, you've been doing too much because you haven't been here on Sunday night. But I appreciate you being here tonight. Hi, Rashawn. Hi, Coach Dawn. Hi, Tara. Hi, Kobe. Hi, Angela. Thank you all for jumping on. For those of you, and I think almost all of you are on the mobile app, you can go to the live stream section. I just showed everybody. Go to the live stream section. There is an accompanying cheat sheet. Now, let me tell you why we're even talking about this today. We're talking about this because I was on the phone or FaceTime or something with somebody near and dear to my soul, Coach Dawn. I was on a call with Coach Dawn, and she said, I'm just not feeling the funk, right? I'm not like super energized right now. And for those of you who don't know, she had a really miniature setback. And so she's looking and fighting to get back to her normal, incredible high intensity, energized self. And I said, she was talking to me, and I was helping her do some things, some work stuff, and we got through it. And I said, there's got to be some things that we all need to boost up our energy. Now, I have put people on stage inside of our 24K Life conference in the past, and I'm going to tell you that your energy and your energy level, or the lack thereof, So you see how I just jumped right into this topic? We didn't do any rap music. We didn't do the theme song. I mean, I just wanted to get this content to you all right away. Let me pop that up again so that if you all want to go grab that, you can. If you're not in the mobile app, where is it? Where is it? It is right here. Here we go. So you can go there and you can pull the workbook down. You can download it. It's yours. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything other than to go and check that out and download it. So you can get the cheat sheet right there. But we're going to talk about everything that we're going to talk about, except for what we're going to have our expert talk about. So here's what I personally did. I did not know that all of these things were directly correlated to our energy. So let's just go ahead and start. And if you have a question, now's the time to ask, right? You can ask when Teri gets here too, but you can go ahead and ask. So if we were taking a look at this workbook, and I'm going to blow this up a little bit bigger, okay? So foods, right? Right there you have foods. So the reason why I'm doing this is so that you can crack your code to your energy zone, because we all have a different energy zone. We all have things that work well for us and some that don't. So you need to take some serious notes. And we're going to start off with, have you taken your hind parts to the doctor? Have you gone to your doctor? Have you done blood work that indicates what your iron levels are, what your hormone levels are, what your nutritional values that you're getting? What is there anything innately messing you up? And here's what I'll share with you. If you are sluggish and you are older, I'm older, there's things that happen to us with men. By the age of 27, your testosterone level starts to drop. Testosterone is pure energy for us men. That's where we get all that aggressiveness from. Okay, so you go to the doctor, you check your hormone levels, you check your vibe, you check your blood, you see what you're doing, you check the foods that you're eating. And that's the first place I would suggest you start. Now, the second place you can start is when you go to the doctor. Do not, listen to me clearly, don't follow the stuff that they tell you about your body mass index, about your weight, about being obese. Those scales are so incredibly off, and they're so frigging depressing. How many of you, give me a thumbs up if you've gone to the doctor or you've looked at a chart online for your height and weight and it's told you were obese? I'm going to put a thumbs up in mine because I've gone and looked at it and it said, dude, you're obese. So, oh, you were there last week, Regina, but you didn't say hello. So I didn't know, but now I know. So hi from last week and hi from this week. So I can't find my little emoji thing, so I can't put it up there, but just know that I'm putting my thumbs up, right? You look at the thing and it tells you that you're obese, tells you that you need to fall 3 levels. Don't listen to that stuff. Here's what I need you to listen to. I need you to sit down and analyze your personal energy level on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you feel like you're a 5, a 6, a 7, 8? I'm not telling you to put that in the post. I don't want you to tell me. I want you to figure it out. Number 2, I want you to figure out, when do you get, Angela, those charts are horrible. They are disgusting, and they're made for people that were born in 1920 or something. Anyway, before they had McDonald's. Speaking of McDonald's and food, I'm going to tell you something. Now, I don't want to upset you all that like McDonald's, but I watched a video today, not for this, it just happened to come across my purview, where McDonald's takes their potatoes. They get all of their potatoes from this one farm. Okay, I'm going to go back to my point about the BMI index, but they get their potatoes from this one farm all over the world. And these potatoes are like this. They're long, so when they cut them, the fries are long and they fit into the containers. But McDonald's doesn't want any of those brown spots that you see on potatoes. So they spray this stuff on the potatoes in the field. And when they spray this stuff, the farmers will not go outside into the field for 5 days, because whatever they're spraying on the potatoes is that deadly. They will not go out into the fields after they spray them. And then when they get the potatoes, they put them into this harvest area where they have to sit in there for another 10 days because they're not edible with this stuff on them. So they got to wait till this stuff fumigates off of them. and then they ship them off and we eat them. I'm telling you, you got to be careful because all of this relates to your energy. So back to the obesity charts. But it's okay to kill us. Oh, it's okay to kill us. Farmers ain't going nowhere near us. That's right, Kobe. I'm putting it out there for you guys to make your own mind up, but Kobe's right, in case you were wondering. So I'm just suggesting to you that you got to be so incredibly careful. I'm telling you, if you want better energy, cook your food. I know it's a pain in the hind parts. I know you might be cooking for one or two, but you know what? At least you know where it's coming from and what it is. At least that's something that you can do. So when you go back and you look at these BMI charts, I told you that I want you to look at your energy level. I want you to look at what time of the day you get sluggish. I want you to look at your waistline, right? How many times have you lost weight, you feel better, but the scale didn't move? You might be lifting, you might be walking. You're walking and you haven't been walking before. You're going to build muscles in your legs. There's more muscles inside of your lower half of your body than the rest of your body. So if you're walking, lifting, doing those things, you're going to gain some weight, but the scale's not going to go down, but your waistline's going to go down. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy and things are going to look better for you. So as I was showing you, let me show you this. Let me go back. Let me add that back. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because health equals wealth. You can see it right next to my head. Health equals wealth. How does that happen? It happens easily. The better you feel, the better you perform, and the better you perform, the more money you make, the bigger results you get, and the more results you get, the more they want to pay you. Hi, Theodora. She just got finished cooking. What'd you make? We know you were cooking. What did you cook is what we want to know because we want some too. So, we created this cheat sheet, and I know you can't see it on the screen, but I gave you the download. I gave you the download for you to go grab it so that you can learn these things and take some notes, Regina. Take some notes about yourself. When are you at your best? When are you at your best? So don't be looking at the traditional things. That is what I'm really trying to tell you. Don't look at the scale. Don't look at your waistline. Look at how your clothes fit. Look at your energy levels. Look, are you crashing at a certain time? Okay. And inside that little cheat sheet that I gave you, and I should probably not call it a cheat sheet, the gold nugget sheet, it's a cheat sheet. I put everything there that you need to start analyzing and looking at to consider to see how it affects you. So I told you already, this all started because I was talking to Coach Dawn. She was a little tired. And so she was a little foggy. So did you know that, let's see, where is it? It's here somewhere. I put it here somewhere. Where did I put it? Which organ uses the most energy? That's the question. Which organ, and it's right on the cheat sheet, which organ uses the most energy? Which organ in your body uses the most energy? You already saw it on the cheat sheet. It's your brain. It's your brain. Isn't that crazy? How many of you knew that? If you knew that, say, yes, I knew that. Just go ahead and mark, yes, I knew that. Your brain is the biggest use of your body's energy levels. So you can't exercise enough because you can't make your brain lift, right? You might get more endurance from working out. Oh, let me see the comments. Let me go take a look at the comments. Kobe knew that. That's because he's too damn smart. That's why she knew that. She went to that rich people school, Miami Valley Country Day School. Only rich, smart people do that. See, me and Theodora Roberts on the same page. Didn't know that. So what we're here to talk about today is how to get more energy. So if you feel like you are not operating like you were 30, I'm not even going to go back to 20. Let's say 30. Stacy, how's my girl? Stacy said she knew that. How's my girl, Stacy? That's what I need to know. How's my girl doing? How's she doing? How's she doing? Just give me like 5 hearts if she's doing good. And if she's not doing good, don't give me anything. I'll call her after the show. So give me 3 or 4. Just tell me how she's doing. I'm concerned about her. Stacy's aunt is one of my absolute best, most favorite people on the planet. and she is struggling to regain her energy and her life and her health. So we all need to be appreciative of where we are, what we're doing, and how we're doing it. Stacy, thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. So we're talking about who needs to be on here. And the point becomes, yes, I'm always talking about money. Yes, this conversation is about how to get you healthier, more energy, so you can go perform better. So, oh, she's fabulous. All right, I'm still gonna call her after this, but I do believe you. So I am going to, it made me lose my train of thought. So I know health is important. I know money is important, but I believe that money leads to more health, better trainers, better foods. I went and bought some organic protein powder today. I almost said a cuss word. The stuff is like $90. Okay, but you got to have it. You got to have it. You got to have it, right? Perform better, feel better, better results, more results, higher results, recognition, money. That's the way it works. So listen, I need you to listen very carefully because I'm going to bring Teri in. She's been patiently waiting behind the scenes. She's just pacing. She's back there pacing, right? You didn't hear that music I was playing when we first came on, but she's back there just pacing. She's ready to come tell you about some stuff. Now, before I bring her on, let me just tell you that I have not known her long, but I respect her so much that I said, you've got to come on my Sunday night show and you've got to help people understand the science and the woo-woo come together and make sense. So she is an expert. Hi, Teri. Teri, you're muted.
Hello. I'm unmuted now.
You're unmuted now. So, Teri, I was giving them the lowdown. You hail from St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Technically, it's St. Paul, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
St. Paul and
okay.
Minneapolis are two cities in the state of Minnesota. They're next door to each other.
All right. Well, let me finish my statement. The place nobody wants to go once winter hits.
Yes.
It is cold. It is snowy. It's not quite unbearable, but it is cold and snowy there. It is very cold and snowy, and I get snow in Ohio. So you are a mindfulness coach. Tell us what mindfulness is before we get into what I really want you to share, because I got something specific I want you to share.
All right. Well, mindfulness is living your life intentionally, being very focused and clear about everything you're doing in the moment you're doing it, so that you're not caught up in the monkey mind and the chaos of tomorrow and the anxiety of yesterday, but you're doing this right here, right now, in this moment, and enjoying every piece of this moment. It's like Henry David Thoreau, I suck the marrow out of life. And when you live a mindful life, you are sucking the marrow out of this moment. And you've been talking health and wealth.
Yep.
Health is the new wealth. You are wealthier than all get out if you're healthy and you're happy and you're content with your life. And the way to get there is mindfulness.
I will tell you this, that I have over the years dealt with thousands of people in their financial situation, and that's as a professional. And I've also had a tremendous amount of blessings having some really good friends. And one of my better friends, acquaintances, he's unfortunately deceased, but the guy was a silver spoon that turned a silver spoon into a platinum spoon. And, you know, he had 2 airplanes. We used to go to games. We used to go up in Upper Peninsula and ride bikes 100 miles. And we just used to have fun. And when he got sick and he took a $13,000 experimental shot in his booty and it didn't work, I knew then that there was nothing. And I admired the hell out of this guy, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman. I want to be able to have private flights. But when he lost his health and couldn't do nothing at that moment to save his health, it's when I knew that health truly is wealth. And when all things are even, I'll take health every day. It gives me a new opportunity. So we are here to help people understand how to be healthy. So
can I jump in and give you another story? Just like
I brought you here to jump in. We're jumping.
One of my best friends in the whole world, she died in 2020, so also deceased. And she's an example, my friend Julie is an example of someone, she was a high school teacher her whole life, so you know how much money she made. And her whole life she was happy. and she did whatever she could to stay healthy. And when she was 71 years old, she had shoulder surgery, a new shoulder put in, because that's what happens with people who are in their 70s. And she's
Right.
like, I'll live it. I survive it. She'd already survived breast cancer. She'd already survived knee injury. She'd already survived years of teaching the rough and tough kids in school. And she was just happy all the time, no matter what happened. So even when her body was breaking down, she still found a way to be happy. So she fell down the stairs right
Ooh.
after she got the go ahead of her shoulder being healed. So her shoulder's healed. You can go do everything you want. And she fell down the stairs and she broke her neck. And I'm talking, she broke her neck in a way, not where she lost feeling and made her paraplegic. She broke her neck in a way where she could feel everything, but she couldn't move it in the same way as she used to. So for the last 7 months of her life, she was in a wheelchair and she was not able to function in her body as she used to. And this woman spent those 7 months, it was like her life force cracked open with that break. Like she had this energy, she had this vibrancy to her that just made everyone shine anyway. She just shined everywhere. But it's like when she fell and broke her neck, her, like an egg cracked. It's like all the light started pouring and gushing out of her even more. And every single person that took care of her just received this light and this energy of her happiness and her joy and her passion for life, even though she's in a wheelchair for those 7 months and she's like in physical pain and all the stuff's going on. And at the end of her life, she'd had 3 UTIs that were pretty severe and causing her to go into dementia. A UTI for older people causes that. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's very, very common that urinary tract infections in older people make them kind of go cuckoo. It makes their brains go a little crazy until they can get the infection under control. So after the 3rd UTI, she came out of that and she said, you know what? I don't want to live like this, losing my mind to a UTI anymore. I'm done.
Right.
She just looked me right in the eye and she said, I'm done. I have spilled my heart everywhere I can. I'm done. She died 2 days later.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So what
But
do you
she
attribute?
is an
What do you
example
attribute
of
her
health
growth?
as well.
What did you attribute her? What did she attribute that last 7 months with the she was already high vibing? What did she attribute or you attribute? What do you think attributes to the increase in that?
I think she knew this was the end.
And she
And
wanted
I
to
think
give it
she
all.
knew
And
she
just
had to
wanted
give
it all.
every piece of herself to everyone who came close to her.
Wow.
And so every single nurse in the hospitals and the clinics, they all called her grandma. They called her mom or grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And every single person walked away from work and engaging with her, being flushed with her energy. And I think she knew this is the end. So I got to pour my legacy into everyone I know. And she lived mindfully every single second of those last years of life.
That is awesome.
And I was so blessed because I fed her breakfast every morning for those last 3 months.
Man, that helps you and you get to live it in real time and you get to see it even in down times because it's easy for people to be up when things are great. But when things are not so great, it becomes a little tougher. So I was telling everybody that the organ that uses the most energy in our body is our brain. And that is because the brain is so rich in nerve cells or neurons. It's the most energy demanding organ, using 1/2 of all the sugar energy in the body. The brain functions as a thinking, memory, and learning are so closely linked to glucose levels and how efficiently the brain uses them for fuel sources. So I mentioned that because in my limited preparation, which it was a lot, but in my preparation for you, I wanted to understand how breathing, because Teri is going to talk to us about her Mosey method of breathing and how that relates to energy. And when I did my homework, it talked about how our breathing, the oxygen in our system, helps us to break down the glucose more efficiently that our brain really needs. But we're not going to get into the deep science on that. I just wanted everybody to know that. So tell us, I'm going to talk about some other things like foods and different things, but I brought you specifically to talk about this breathing technique. and how breathing plays into our energy levels. Floor is yours.
So we get 90% of our energy from breath. Only 10% of our energy comes from food. And that 10% from food is harder to get to because we have to break it down and digest it and absorb it before it becomes energy. Whereas when we breathe, the oxygen immediately becomes energy. And if you pay attention in your life, most of the time you don't even pay attention to your breathing. And people find that they stop and hold their breaths without even knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
We are not breathing in the times when we need it the most. One of my greatest examples of breathing and how it works is when I go and teach live and in person, I put one person in a chair. And the first time I taught this, it was a 200-pound man in the chair. And then I put 4 people around that person standing up next to him in the chair. And those 4 people were my size. I'm talking 120-pound women. And I had them form their fingers like guns and put their fingers in his knee pits and his armpits and try to lift him up. And the initial time they try to lift him up, he's just a rock. Like, they're not going to get him off the ground. They're not going to get him off the chair. But then what I do is I have them, the 4 women, I had them all breathe together, this very focused and intentional breath that brings in the oxygen into your system in a much more focused and intentional way. It's a kind of breath that breaks down the air that comes into your body and makes it into more pure oxygen faster by learning how to use your lungs appropriately. So I had these 4 women breathing together and breathing this more efficient, focused breath. Then I asked them to say an intention. He is light, we are strong. So they repeated that intention in their minds, and I was saying it for them. He is light, we are strong. Doesn't this sound like light as a feather, stiff as a board? If you remember that game as a child. So they're chanting in their heads, he is light, we are strong. And then I had them physically put their hands above his head, one at a time. And so they're breathing and they're thinking he's light and we're strong. And one at a time, so they stacked their 8 hands above their head above his head into a big tower. What that did is it made them stand up taller. It made them get into better posture, and it made them put their bodies into better alignment. And their brains are hearing the message of he is light, we are strong. So their brains are thinking, oh, we've got to use our strong muscles, and sending the message down into the nervous system to activate the right muscles, knowing that they're supposed to be lifting him up. And they're breathing with this all the time. So they've got the breath, which is the spirit. They've got the mind, which is the mantra or the affirmation, he is light, we are strong. And they've got the body of them standing in a better posture and getting their body muscles to do their job. Then these 4 women, 125 pounds each, he's 200 pounds, they put their fingers in his knee pit and armpit, and they lifted him up over their heads to touch the ceiling.
You are kidding.
I am not kidding. Now, another time I taught this exercise, totally different class, I had, again, a 200-pound man in the chair, and I had 3 women and a man. And the man was not believing us. He was not believing me. He was not breathing. And so as they lifted him up, all the women had their hands up over their heads, and the man held his breath, and he was right here shaking.
Wow.
As
So
soon as they lose their breath, the power goes away.
So tell us about this in your practice. So you call it the Mosey method, correct?
Yes. The Mosey method is a 3-step exercise, which they did in that exercise. It is taking a deep focused breath, really being intentional and clear about your breath, activating your body in a specific action, and activating an affirmation that matches that body action. So in this case, they were standing up and feeling strong and activating all their muscles. And they were thinking he is light, we are strong. And those 2 work together. We can do this in many, many other ways to get your brain and your nervous system to align together. Oh, what I'm thinking is what I need to be doing, and what I'm doing is what I need to be thinking, and the breath is where that message lives. So going back to Julie, back to my friend who died, she's in this wheelchair, And she has the ability to feel her body, and she has the ability to move her body in certain ways if she really, really focuses on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were times where she needed to adjust herself because she couldn't figure out how to tell someone to adjust herself the way it would be more comfortable. So she would do the breathing, and the breathing would take away the pain right away. It wouldn't make it all go away necessarily, but it would downgrade the pain from like a through the roof 10 to an 8 or a 7 or even a 4, just by getting into the focused breathing. And then she would say in her head, I can do this. And whatever it is, say she needed to like move her arm, and she didn't have much ability, but say she needed to move her arm. So she would think, I am open. And she would think that I'm open, because that's what our arms do. They open up, they reach out for things. So she would think, I'm open. And as she's breathing, I'm open, she could then use that mental and breathing intention to use the breath to move her arm.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. I love it. So what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to translate that to everyday life. You know, we want to be able to translate that to everyday life. And for those of you that are in pain, obviously that's an added bonus that I didn't really think about, but hey, it works. But for those of you that are struggling with your, you know, with your focus, if you're struggling with your energy level, and you want to implement, you know, this method, first of all, I was supposed to queue this up, and I completely dropped the ball because I forgot. But you know, I'm spectacular in other ways. But Teri has offered to help anyone, not everyone, we're going to pick one. If you have an affirmation because the affirmation, the mantra of the affirmation is part of the 3-step process. So if somebody has an affirmation that let's say it's not working, right? Let's go there. Let's say you have this affirmation that you say to yourself all the time, but you don't think it's working. Okay. Put it in the chat. And as long as it's not a good one, but as long as it's, you know, readable on public domain, then we'll give it to Teri and let her help you figure out how to make that more appropriate so that it'll work for you. So
let me speak to that. Why it's not working is because it could be stuck in your head and not moving through your body. If you're just saying the affirmation over and over and over again, and it's not an appropriate affirmation to it's too big, it's too wonky, it's the wrong words, it's the wrong sounds, it can get stuck in your head and turn into monkey mind. But with the Mosey method, you put that affirmation, you clarify that affirmation. First of all, you make it shorter, you make it clearer, and then you apply it to a physical body action. And then that physical body action applied to a breath, the Mosey method, that will triply amplify the power of that affirmation. Okay. So I see in the chat someone's talking about back pain, but let's go more specific.
No, that doesn't count. He's got to give us an affirmation. I already chatted to him and told him to give us an affirmation, and then that'll help you do what you need to do. So there's 3 parts. What's the first part?
Well, they're all interconnected. I don't like to call it first, second, part,
but you're teaching this.
One part is a body action, doing a physical thing with your body.
So let's talk about the body action. What would a body action look like?
It could be something as simple as engaging a muscle, like engaging your core, or like I said, Julie, like opening your chest. Mm-hmm. It could be something.
So Julie would say her affirmation, do her breathing, and open her arms at the same time.
She didn't have the ability to completely open her arms,
that's a bad example.
but she could open her chest.
Okay.
So she would open her chest, and then that would give her the power to open her arms more, because it's coming from the core of her body. Mm-hmm. She could move her arms by moving her chest first.
Okay. So
and adding the intention.
While we're waiting for somebody to give us an affirmation, if they will, why don't you give us an example of doing all 3 so we can see the breathing? Coach Dawn is saying, can Teri do an example of the type of breathing that you're talking about?
Yes, the breathing has to match the intention and the action as well.
Okay.
So I do have a stock breathing exercise. I call it focus breathing that works all across the board. And if you want to learn that, you can go on my website, and there's a course in there called Peace and Balance that teaches that really specific focus breathing. we don't have time here to teach all of you that specific exercise of how to do that. But with each Mosey method exercise, depending on what the body action is and the intention is, giving a breath that matches that is very key. So let's give the example. Let's all of you think of something that you're holding on to too tight.
Yeah,
what is something that you need to let go?
Think of something you need to let go.
Something you got to get rid of that you're not able to get rid of.
Okay.
Drop it in the chat. Show me what that is. But everyone has something, you know, whether it's something mental or an emotional, like the resentment of an old relationship that hasn't ended or has ended and you're still dealing with the anxiety of it, or whether it's that thing in your garage that's taking up all the space and you want to get rid of it, but you never really quite do.
All right. So Selena said overthinking. Let's pick that.
Okay. That's a good affirmation. I am confident, by the way. So everyone's got something you're holding on to, right? Mm-hmm. So you're going to use the body action of your hands, and you're going to close your hands as you inhale, and you're going to think of that thing that, oh, I love it, I've held it, it's done good for me, as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you open your hands and you let it go. And you say to yourself, the affirmation is, I am releasing. And that's very key, that you say a very clear affirmation rather than saying, I'm letting go of all the anxiety of overthinking. Like that's an affirmation someone would use. I'm letting go of all the anxiety of overthinking. But what you've just done there is you've activated the word overthinking and you've activated the word anxiety in your brain. And by activating those words, you're actually perpetuating them and you're holding on to them more. So just by getting rid of those words and saying, I am releasing, and you don't even say what you're releasing, you just let yourself release.
Excellent. I like it.
And the word release has a very powerful sound to it. The E sounds, release, kind of mimics the sound of air escaping a balloon. E. It's a letting go. And then at the end, release.
Right.
So the S is also a letting go, and it's a sound that can continually evaporate rather than letting go, which is more harsh. The T sound and the G sound is more harsh and it's more gripping. Whereas a long sound like release has more of that releasing energy. So if you say, taking that inhale, you're holding and loving the thing that you have, it served you to some point in your life. So you're saying, I've loved it, I've appreciated it by holding your hands in. And then as you let go, you exhale, I am releasing.
Excellent.
And your hands have that feeling of letting go.
Yep. I mean, even when you were giving the example of the guy in the chair with the 4 women, you were saying that you had them put their hands up, which made them stand taller. So now they're saying something, they're doing something, and they're breathing to connect all of that in their nervous system.
Right.
That's so dope. All right. Let me show what you can get. You can go to Coach Teri's website, and I'm going to give it to you in a minute. And she also has this golden nugget sheet where she talks about step 1, think of a simple affirmation. Step 2, do a body action. Step 3, do deep breathing. So that's something that you can do. And she has a little quick sheet for you. And you can get to her by going to terileigh.com/free gift. So if you want to grab that, you can do that. If you, for some reason, miss all that, then you can hit me up in the direct messages and I will make sure that you get this get this website address. But with that, Teri, thank you so much for taking your Sunday night and spending a little bit of time with us. Your podcast, we're going to release it a lot earlier because there's so much more we talked about. We talked about chakras. What else did we talk about? We talked about your chakra zones. Now, most people know about 7 of them. How many did you tell me? 100 and what?
There's 72 million.
Oh, did you? Oh, Jesus, I was way off. 72 million chakras, energy zones. And you consider an energy zone anytime nerves cross, right? Okay.
Every intersection of a nerve and another nerve is a chakra. So the 7 major ones are the biggest intersections along your spine.
Yeah, so she talks about that. If you go to her website, you'll see all that. You can see that from the sheet that I put up, that those are the colors of the chakras. So she's all lined up and ready to go. Teri, thank you so much for sharing your time with us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me. I really enjoy your energy. I appreciate you, Derek.
Thank you. If they have any other questions, I'll make sure that we get them to you and that we connect with you. If you want to find her, she spends a lot of time on LinkedIn, Teri Leigh, and you can follow or connect, and she'll be happy to share some love with you from St. Paul, Minneapolis. Or is it Minnesota? Did I screw it up again? It's Minnesota.
You didn't screw it up. It's just Minneapolis and St. Paul are twins in the
twin cities. The Twin Cities. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll have a good night.
Have a great night.
You too. So, I wanted her to come on because I personally hired I'll call her a spiritual coach, not her, but a different lady, a couple of years ago. And one of the things that she taught me was about breathing. And then there's the most famous Wim Hof, Wimhoff, Wim Hof. And Wim is a big proponent of this amazing breathing techniques. Now, here's what I will share with you. You should do the breathing techniques that she just shared with you, which is really simple, throughout the course of the day. If you wake up and you want to waken your body up, today's going to be a good day. Let me show you what I do. I do what they call tapping, right? There's something called tapping, and I tap here, right? And I'll while I'm repeating my affirmation or my mantra, I call it a mantra, I'll tap this. Things come crystal clear to me. I am crystal clear about all my decisions. That's for Selena. So I'm tapping here. And so what happens is that in the middle of the day at some other time, if I am not clear, or if I'm going into a meeting, I want to be clear, I don't even have to do the whole exercise. I just start doing this. And it instantly reminds me that I am clear, and things are working out for my best interest. So, take a look at that. Download that free gift and, reach out, because here's the thing. If you think you know everything, you wouldn't be here. If you think you know most things, then you are wrong. And you should probably start to inquire, at least to challenge the things that you're thinking. So Coach Dawn don't play around. She's already connecting with Teri on LinkedIn. And Teri's already accepting it, and they're already talking about chatting. Jesus Louise, good job. So here's the thing that I know you don't get. For those of you that don't work out, I know you don't get this. For those of you that used to work out and don't work out anymore, I know you forget this. But listen to me clearly. There are massive amounts of endorphins that are released when you go work out. And there is a curve of working out, being tired, and working out and having more energy. If you want more clarity, if you want more energy, you need to take your hind parts to the gym. And you don't have to kill yourself. Spend 20 to 30 minutes, 4 days a week, and I promise you, it is scientifically proven that you will get more energy. There's so many small things that we should all be doing. Here's something that I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to let you go because you can download the workbook. So by having a routine, it increases your energy. Think about how much, if I told you the brain uses the most energy in your body, and you're constantly throughout the course of every day trying to figure out what's next, trying to figure out what you have in the pantry to cook for dinner, that's right, Angela, working out is your savior. The Father, Son, the Holy Ghost in the gym. That's what Angela said. But if you're trying to figure out every day, all day, what's next? What do I have to do? What should I do? What could I do? What's pressing me? What do the kids need? What is my, if you're constantly trying to map out your day as you're going through your day, you are using and consuming massive amounts of unnecessary energy. So you need to start to map out your day. Plan your day. And I'm showing you this planner, right? because I map out my day before it even gets started, so I don't have to think about it. So I'm not wasting that energy. For those of you that need a little softer deal, here's Coach Dawn's. She has a planner that she uses every day to keep her on point and on track. And by having a routine, I've shown you, we've gone through a masterclass, $1 Million Mornings, morning routines. You have an evening routine, right? You have these routines so that you're disciplined, so that you can create momentum, so that you don't have to waste energy, so that you can be better when it's game time. What? That's what I'm talking about, being better when it's game time. Now, I know I labeled this, the great superfood hoax. And what I will share to you is that they come up with new superfoods every other goddamn day. What I need you to do is I need you to start understanding what foods are processed easiest in your body, because you can't go get all of the superfoods. Are you getting enough greens? Are you getting enough iron? Because sometimes you're saying, I'm going to eat all these veggies, but you're not getting enough irons. I told Coach Dawn, she has this thing that she's taught me. It's called knocking off edges. And what that means is that when she's hungry and it's not time to really, really eat, she'll eat enough so that she's not hungry. So she knocked off that hunger edge. But what she tends to do is use an edge for a meal, and she's not getting enough carbohydrates. I don't know that. I don't. I just am done some homework and some research and listened to her and her habits. And I'm saying, did you eat? What did you eat? Oh, I had some popcorn. Popcorn is actually on the list, but not as a main meal. So we all have to decode ourselves. And I'm saying to you that you can't go out and just because they call it a superfood, say you're going to eat it. It doesn't work that way. My body processes potatoes differently than your body. My body processes dairy differently than your body. So you have to go out and actually do some frigging work. Figure out what works best for you. What time of day works best for you to eat and not eat? How often should you be eating? Should you be eating 6 small meals? Should you be eating 3 meals? Should you be eating 1 meal? Everybody's different. So you hear these diets on TV, you hear these things on TikTok, and I'm going to try that. No, it worked for that person. You need to figure out what works for you, because you're trying to get your energy level up. So when it's 7:45 at night, you're sitting around all amped up like I am, trying to help people elevate their lives so we can all elevate together. Because that's the only reason why I'm here. And the results are undeniable. It's a big difference. I was sick a few weeks ago. I told you last week I was sick. And my God, I dang near had to crawl upstairs to go to bed, and getting tired, getting off the couch and going to the restroom, exhausted. Makes you appreciate your health. It makes you appreciate your energy levels. It makes you appreciate doing the right things. And I'm telling you, it's all for you. This is all for you. So you can download the cheat sheet, Derek on Demand. If you are on Google or the Google store, whatever that's called, it's Derek on Demand. If you are on the Apple store, it is the 24K Life Code. I changed the name of it, but it hasn't taken yet in the Google world, but it will. So let me give you a couple tips and I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna give you just small tip. Okay, manifesting positive energy. I'm reading from the workbook, the little cheat sheet that I gave you. Manifesting positive energy. Start a daily routine. Get rid of toxic people. Having bad conversations is draining. It's draining, y'all. Recite positive affirmations. We already talked about that. Practice being more grateful, right? Here's the thing about gratitude. What you focus on expands. So if you focus on that MFer that's driving you crazy, then you're going to keep going more crazy. But if you focus on gratitude, I'm glad that sucker's not my life anymore. I'm glad my life doesn't have that chaos anymore. Same conversation, you're just rewording it. I'm glad I don't have that chaos. I'm glad I have tranquility. That's even better. I'm glad I have tranquility now. That's going to help you with your energy levels because that is more high vibing. Okay. Limit your social media and news exposure. I've been telling y'all, took all that off my phone. I got LinkedIn and Twitter on my phone. I have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all the other bull on my iPad, but I don't go to my iPad that often. I carry my phone. I don't carry my iPad. So I've greatly reduced the amount of news and things that I've been consuming, like greatly. And then lastly, clear your abundance blocks. Now we can talk about that inside of this little cheat sheet. You can't see it because of the light, but there's a section called blocked energy zones and how do you clear those? And it gives you some hints to start doing some homework. Let's see what everybody's saying. Terry says, paying attention to how you feel when you eat, paying attention to how you feel when you eat makes all the difference. By being mindful about my eating, my tongue now tells me when I've had the last bite because the flavors of the food changes. What? See, Terry's dropping dimes. I never even heard of that one. The flavor of the food changes when you're done. Don't taste that good no more. I like that. I'm going to try that one. Okay. Selena, who's a medical practitioner, says you are what you eat. And Kobe says that's a great skill, Terry. My tongue says that was good. I want some more. My mind and belly have to step on and say no. My sister's hilarious. I love her with all my heart. So listen, if you think that I put these things together for monetary reasons, somebody's lying to you, because none of you sent me a check or a Venmo for this. You didn't send me a check for the workbook, the time that I put into that. I put it in because I love you. I put it in because I want you to grow. I put it in because I want you to get serious about where you're going. I want you to get serious about where you are. And I want you to get serious about what you are doing. Because if you do half the things that I've been talking about the last God knows how many years, you're going to have a better life. You're going to have a better life. You're going to have a 24K life. I don't know what else to tell you. So I do it because I want to see you win. We get clients from it. I'm not altruistic. I'm not saying people don't sign up and join us for help. You know, we get coaching clients from it. But trust me, most of the people that come on here aren't coaching clients. There might be past coaching clients. There might be past workout friends. But I do it because I want you to win. I want you because you are the influence in your circle. I already know you are. So I want you to win so then you can influence your circle to win, and then we can all win together. I'm Derek Gann. I want you to be your best. Bring your best. Leave nothing to chance. Hey, listen, if you have any questions for Terry, make sure you reach out. She's been amazing. Thank you, Terry. Love you too. She is a fountain of information. You can tell she's quoting Henry David Thoreau. I quote Chuck E. Cheese or Willie Woodpecker. But the reality is that she's a dynamo and she can help you. Coach Dawn is a dynamo. She can help you. You know, so for those of you that are on here, I don't know if you're reading the Stewart magazine, but Stacy has a Stewart magazine, and she highlights people that are 24K and killing the game. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you, Selena. I want to thank everybody. I hope you have a great week. We do these on Sunday night so that you can have something to look forward to during the rest of the week. You can have something that you're working on personally to elevate yourself during the week. And we want you to make sure that you're not letting toxic people drag you down, that you're in a family of non-toxic people that are high vibing, that are elevating the game, and that are helping you to do better. So with that, you're going to get the rap song. You know you can't leave here without the theme music. Have a great week.
Yeah, it's time to live your life. Derek Gann, show them how to take it to the highest height. Hey, this is more than financial advice. Show you how to take control. Time to get your money right. Money management, I know that we all need financial independence. Yeah, it seems out of reach, but you can make it happen. Now it's time for some action, helping you with your finances. Yeah, we got a passion. Hey, ain't no limit. Now it's time to get it. You deserve to have a life how you want to live it. Secrets to success. Now it's time to get it right. Yeah, I'm talking all about that 24K life. Let's go. This the vibe. For real, I'm trying to tell you. Tell me if you ready to take it to the next level. Derek Gann, talking fitness and investment. Change your mindset and show you how it's all connected. Ain't no need to hesitate or delay. Only way to live life is a 24K. Hey, Derek Gann, let them know. Let's go.
Thank you all for the love. I appreciate you. Do me a favor, like, share this with other people so that we all can be better and grow together. Have an amazing week, everybody.